Welcome back. In the last video, we have seen how to upload the form data to the MongoDB. In this video, we are going to learn about how to delete a document, that is a student document, on the MongoDB from the React application. For that, I am going to our React application. Here we have info.js. I am going to add another TD. In that, I am going to add a button to delete. I have already that button code. Just I am going to copy paste. In that, I have created a tag, that is JSX expression button. Type is button. Class name is bootstrap class name for styling. And in the onClick event, I am going to define a function in the arrow syntax function, and then I am going to call the delete a student method. Okay, why I'm going to use this function syntax, arrows function syntax, because I'm going to pass a value in the function call. If we don't want to pass a value, we can have the function name itself. We don't want to put this brackets. If we want to pass a value in the function call, we have to define a function there, and then we have to call that function, right? For that only I'm going to have this. Now save the changes, and then I'm going to add the another header for this delete button. Here I'm going to give header name as action, right? Going to save this file and go to browser. We have an error, delete a student is not defined, because we are not defined that function, right? Where we having this function, we have to define this function. Where we have to define before the return statement, I'm going to use function keyword, function delete a student. Here we have to specify the argument id. Then I'm going to log this in the console. I'm going to print this id. Just I'm going to save this function and go to browser. Yes, we are having this. We don't have any error now. I'm going to click this button. I am getting the id of this particular student Rajesh. Right now, how we are going to delete? Let's go to the VS Code. Here we having the id, right? This id in the info.js, but we have to pass it to the app.js. For that, we have to pass the id to the header.js, because parent of info.js is header.js. In the header.js, we have to pass to the app.js, parent of header, right? Here we are passing the values from the child component to parent component. We have to use props.functions, right? For that, I'm going to call props. I'm going to call a function get student id is our function. We have to define this function, right? I'm going to save this function. Just command this line. Okay, get student id. I'm going to have this in header.js. Our header.js having the info component here. Here I'm going to use that. The name is get student id. Get student id equal to, within the curly bracket, get student id. Going to have the same name and define. We can give different name, but we have to properly define that particular function. Here we having the parameter id, and then I'm going to log this id. Just save these changes. Go to the browser. Go to inspect in the console. I'm going to clear. Now I'm going to click this button. See here, I am getting this ID of the Rajesh student from the header.js. Now we have to pass the this ID to the app.js. For that, we have to call this function. I'm going to use the same function. Here we have to use the props object, props.getStudent. Now go to the app.js. Here we have the header component. Here we have to define the get student id equal to, here we have to define the function student delete student. Okay, now we have to define this function here, const delete student equal to, it is an asynchronous function, we have to use async keyword. Then inside the parenthesis we have to specify the id as an argument. Then arrow function syntax, I'm going to log this id. Now save the changes, go to the browser, we are getting that. Now I am going to click this, I am getting the id of the student in the app.js. Now we have to perform the database operation. We don't want to perform database operation in the client because we have already done in the server side. Just we have to call that api so that it will automatically delete it. Now I am going to delete this line, and then I am going to have const response equal to await keyword, we have to use await keyword, and then we have to use axios object dot delete, we have to use delete method because we are going to remove or delete the document. For that we have to use the http request method as delete. Here I have to specify the, we have to pass the id, so that I am going to copy the URL around inside the backtick we have to pass. Okay, why I am using the backtick? In the JavaScript we can specify the, we can pass the values inside that, so that I am going to use that. See our web server, in the server we have the delete method, the delete method have slash student slash id, we have to pass the id after the student's endpoint. Okay, this is our endpoint for deleting the student, so colon id, so that we have to pass the value. Remember this, we have to use backtick, double quote or single quote will not work. Okay, backtick we have to use. Okay, backtick, in that I am going to use dollar symbol, I am going to pass the id is passed from the info component, right? Now I am going to log this response, just I am going to save the changes, go to the terminal, it's working fine. Now go to the, refresh it, it's working fine. Now I am going to use delete. Okay, now I am going to delete this. Yes, we are getting the data as status as success, message is deleted, message is deleted, right? Now that table is not updated, just refresh it, it will be updated, right? Because we have to call that get function. After that I am going to use get students. Okay, now I am going to do one thing, if response dot data dot message equal to deleted, we have to alert. Okay, we have to use alert student deleted, we have to alert this message confirmation. Okay, I'm going to use this, just go to the browser, I'm going to delete another student. Okay, I have misspelled this message, just I'm going to insert another student, Arul is ECE, Arul ECE at gmail.com, then marks is 91, I'm going to submit this. Yes, we are getting the student. Now I am clear the console. Now I am going to delete the student. Yes, the student deleted. Now the student in the table also cleared. This is about this video. We have learnt about how to delete a document in the MongoDB from the React application. In the next video, we will see how to update and upload a document or any files through React application. Thank you everyone.